All right, everybody, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video. Xvault here, and today I want to go over some news in regards to what I think about day and date games dropping on a subscription service, and if it's a good idea, if it's not a good idea, and why it might teeter into both of these categories, and I'll explain more as we go on. But first and foremost, get ready. I think this is going to be a heavy-hitting week of announcements and other things. We did get the Sonic announcement as well today. I don't know if I'll do a video or something that justifies doing a Sonic video that was released today, but keep that in mind. Go check it out. It does look phenomenal. I just don't know if I can really justify an 8 to 10 minute video over a Sonic 30-second gameplay trailer clip. I could, maybe. Let me know if you guys want to see that sort of stuff. But anyways, we'll go ahead and dive into my thoughts and opinions on this. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. All right, so like I was saying, what I do want to jump into is subscription services, and companies possibly or are currently releasing certain first-party games day and date on their subscription services. Now, is this a good idea? Is this not a good idea? It kind of lies in between, and a case can be made for either side, but I think it leans more towards the side of negative. It's a negative impact on that. So to break this down, obviously you have, the reason I'm also bringing this up is because we have the PS Plus premium packages and stuff starting up as of June 13th. So we're just basically a couple weeks away removed from that go live service date. Now, the differences being with PlayStation side with their subscription service was previously PlayStation Now, still holds true with how this will work, but they're adding more to it. We're getting catalogs of older games and up to the developers, but they are implementing trophies to these older games, which maybe gives that person an incentive to play again. I mean, again, if you've played Siphon Filter 1, 2, or the Vita or PSP versions, those games are going to be there, a few of them, and some of us played those games to death, and even though they're great, they don't age the best. The gameplay, the controls, it's nice, it's a nostalgic factor, but what incentive do we have to replay that? You know what I mean? So the fact that they are implementing trophies to that is the incentive that I would need to replay those old games if I'm going to play those older games. So that is just a scenario there. So that's about the most they're going to do. Now they're putting first-party games on their AAA first-party God of War, Horizon Forbidden West, Spider-Man, Miles Morales Spider-Man, all that stuff, right? But what they're not doing right now, or anytime in the foreseeable future, is dropping those games day and date. So they're not dropping it day one that the next God of War Ragnarok's coming out, or they're not going to drop it day and date with Spider-Man 2 or Wolverine or Forspoken, even though it's not a first party. They're not dropping the day and date games on there, which I think is smart. And I'll tell you why I think this is smart in just a moment here. But where we have the Xbox with the Game Pass stuff, we are looking at their first-party AAA exclusive titles dropping on that game service day and date. As soon as it's available, boom, it's on there. Now, is this good or bad? Again, it can be stated both ways, but I'm going to tell you why this is more of a negative impact, and I'm not trying to slight the Xbox side of things. I know people out there are going to be upset about this, but, you know, facts are facts. And here's, I'm going to explain why. You know, I know I prefer Sony, but regardless, if Sony was dropping day and date, we would see the same kind of content that we'd be seeing on the Xbox side of things. You don't believe me? Well, this is what I mean. Now, the games necessarily that are AAA exclusives for the Xbox side dropping day and date aren't necessarily bad games. I'm not saying they're horrible games. They can't be played, that they can't be enjoyed. But you also can't remove the fact that you have Halo Infinite, Psychonauts 2, stuff like that, to name just a couple, because Forza in its own right has always been a very solid title, has been very well done. People enjoy it, and it did very well and scored very well, albeit all the weird things going on with journalists and review people and being paid and this and that, versus the Horizon Forbidden West and how that was dived into or dove into and all that. But that's another FTC video for another time and all that. So anyways, you look at the quality of content that PlayStation is giving. The reason they're able to do this is because they are able to get the money out. The fan base and the folks that are invested into that ecosystem don't have a problem paying $60 for the games. They don't have a problem paying $70 for the games. They don't have a problem paying for the games in general. Most of them, including myself, are not very vocal about subscription services and wanting some of that, even though there is value. And again, I'm not going to take away the value of what Game Pass offers or what other subscription services can offer, given the length of the mile for that. Now, the problem is, if Sony did drop Spider-Man 2, Wolverine, Horizon Forbidden West, God of War Ragnarok, and on and on and on, if you get these games day and date, you take a hit in that money. You're not getting $70 per game. You're getting folks that are subscribing to a mid-pass, the higher tier, whether it be Ultimate, whether it be Premium, or whatever the case is. You're still not bringing in the money for the amount of content that you have on there, so you have to play it smarter. Now, Microsoft does have a bigger wallet. They do have a bigger budget. But just because they can throw money around, just because they can hemorrhage some money to try and see what latches, throwing the spaghetti at the wall and seeing how many newcomers they can get to their service and stuff, that's fine. But they're only going to allow themselves to purchase so much, to invest in so much. And I think that money, and by think, I know that money, does not hit the same way that the money can hit towards the development costs, the developers, the talent, the notoriety that it can when you're getting more money per that game and that franchise. It just doesn't work out that way. It's really just a common sense factor of you make more by actually purchasing the game than putting all these games, whether it be third party and especially first AAA party, it's going to affect it differently. Now, it's not just 100% the money, but it does help. It does help quite a bit. So there is a factor of that, and that's something that has to be considered. I don't believe in day and date games work. I think it's very smart to at least let that first party AAA game sit and marinate with the sales for 12 months, at least a year. I'm not even going to bend to 6 months. I don't want to see that. Give it a full year. The folks that do want to buy that game, that are interested in that game, are going to buy it, at least within that 12-month time frame. If they don't buy it within there, they're looking for a sale anyways, right? And sometimes within that 12 months, sometimes those games do go on sale and sometimes not. More so for the third party, like Ubisoft titles, EA, all that, right? You're going to see those sales as more opposed to the AAA first-party games, and there's a reason behind that as well for the most part. The same thing goes with the Nintendo side of things and how their games go on sale and the first party versus the third party and all that. So it just comes down to how that works out. So again, within that 12-month time span, somebody's going to be saving that money to get it within that time frame, even if they're not going to get it in day one. But there's going to be a ton of people getting it day one, month one, within 3 months in. They're going to make sure they get a hold of that game if they truly want it. And they're going to pay that money. Again, whether that being $60, whether that being $70, they're going to pay it. So it's so smart to get that money 12 months later. Add it to your subscription service. So if someone is there, or you want to entice somebody that has just been holding off because they're maybe more of a casual gamer, or perhaps they just are wanting that value factor in there and they're willing to wait. They're willing to wait. Then there you go. 12 months isn't going to hurt the devs. It's not going to hurt the company. It's not going to hurt the players. It's been 12 months. Anybody who wanted it more than likely probably got it. And if you're waiting for a huge sale or you're waiting for it to hit the subscription service, boom, it's on there 12 months later. I think that's phenomenally smart, and we'll see if they continue to stick to that on the Sony side of things, as opposed to day and date. I feel like it's just not, a lot of people will call out, well, have you always cared about the devs and the costs and money and this and that? Well, no, I was younger. I didn't care about anybody but myself when I was younger. I didn't have a family. I didn't have a child or children. I didn't have anything to think about except for me, myself, and I, and maybe my job and making sure I had money to have fun and do what I wanted. I don't care. Nobody cared at that age. It's very rare if you have an individual that cares in their early 20s or younger. Now, as time goes on, you understand the economics of the devs. You understand that if this is your passion, if gaming is a big time hobby, one of your primary hobbies, you're going to start taking more consideration into that. Hey, I want to see more Spider-Man games. I want to see more God of War games. I want to see more Horizon games. I want to see more Final Fantasy games. Whatever the case is, what you're kind of taking a step back in the seat and looking in the mirror and saying, you know what? I need to support these devs. I need to support the games. I need to support all that stuff if I want more of a chance to have a better quality game, a better quality title, and the continuation of a sequel or franchise. That's just the way it has to be. Honest to God, that's how it has to be. And I just feel that so strongly. I haven't been proven otherwise yet. Everybody that says, oh, Game Pass makes hand over fist, it's a positive, it's income, it's this, this, and this. It is income, but nobody to this day has proven. Nobody. They go back to Phil Spencer quotes that he said, "Oh, we're in a profit, we're in the plus, we're in the positive margin here." I don't buy it. On the Xbox side of things have been so mismanaged, and news came out today on top of this. I didn't want to make a video just alone to that because I don't want to sit there and bash for no reason, but it is a reason. You have Polyphony, which is the developers of Forza, right? Of the Forza franchise, or at least part of them. And they're supposed to be tasked with creating Fable from the ground up, a new iteration, a continuation, so to speak, and all that stuff. And supposedly from a lot of credible sources that they are struggling. This game is far, far out because they have no experience in making an RPG. They have experience in racing and making a world that looks really well done, but there's a lot they're going to have to learn, and I'm sure they are very talented developers over there, but it's going to take time. It's just like me shifting into my strengths at my job, and if they tell me to switch and do something completely different or into a category I'm not too familiar with, it's going to take me much longer to learn those. It's going to take me longer to learn the mechanics. It's going to take this and that and the other. So, there's just a lot of weird things going on over there in regards to that, but that's just a separate topic. But I just wanted to kind of mention that. Like, I feel like some things are mismanaged anyways. I feel like we're not getting the full answer over there, right? I think Sony has to know this. They have to know they're not doing it because, hey, we don't want to make more money, so we're not putting our AAA first-party exclusives on their day and date. I mean, if it truly made more money, they would do it. It's a business. They want money. They like the color green, and they want more of it. If they wanted the money, and that produced the money by dropping day and date titles on there, they would do it. What's that tell you right there as well? Just saying. So just wanted to kind of give those thoughts, some of its opinions, some of its facts. What I've been saying here. And whether you agree with it or not, you have to be, open-minded about it and understand that, hey, it is what it is, right? If that's what you prefer, so be it, but you can't deny the quality. You can't deny the fact of the strategy behind it and what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. I'm just saying, whether you agree or not, it's the facts. I haven't been proven otherwise. If you do have credible sources, please link in the comments below. And I don't mean an interview. I want credible sources, factual sources to state otherwise, that Game Pass makes all this money. Game Pass is such a huge profit. It makes more sense to have day and date games. It doesn't. It just doesn't. And to this day, I've asked so many on social media, so many personally that are avid gamers, that know their stuff. And I have yet to this date, and it's been about 1.5 years that I've been clenching down and really asking this question straight up. Not beating around the bush, but asking for it straight up. Not one person. Not saying that it's 100% out of the question, but until I'm shown or proven different, the facts stand. I'll wrap it up there before I go on and on. So thank you, everybody. Please let me know what you think about this whole topic. Yay, nay on my thoughts on that and the facts on there, the opinions on there. Let me know what you think about that. Eager to hear from you, of course. Everybody that has subscribed and continues to do so, any of the newcomers, thank you so much for sticking around. Much appreciated. As always, that support means so much, and I could not do this or continue without that continued support as well, so thank you. And we are getting closer and closer to that 300 goal. Hoping we get there a little quicker. I'd like to hit that 300 sub goal before November, so we got a few months. If we can hit it even sooner than that, then fantastic. Let's skyrocket and let's do it. So we'll let you have the rest of your Tuesday back already, right? Short week, hopefully for most of us. And we'll see you guys next time on the next Xvault gaming video. And until then, take care.